This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi. Worship Yahawah, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. And as we get closer and closer to the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's world, the prophecies are becoming clearer and clearer every day. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakal Kadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutations, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And I hope and pray that this quick lesson be edifying to the elect. So as you brothers and sisters see on your screen, there's lots and lots of talk of, these sea-hips, man, and it's becoming more and more ingrained in society. I'm actually here, at the airport, coming back from a trip. And coming back into the country, Salakia. Every time I'm bringing out this word, man, Satan want to try to hinder it, man. But the show must go on, man. This word must come out, and Satan can't do nothing to stop it, man. Because Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi wants this word to come out. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm actually at the airport. And they have all this like pre-check, facial recognition technology. We just came from out of, back into the country, back into Babylon. And, when you give your passport, they basically take a picture of your face and probably scan it for all I know, and then they scan your passport or whatever. But, the point being is that, this technology is already here. The infrastructure for the MOTB to be made mandatory, is already here. You got Elon Musk in the White House. He's the man responsible for the Neuralink, So the C-hip being put in your forehead. They got Sweden was one of the first countries to have that heavily implants, in people's hands, So we're already seeing these things, coming to pass, man. And you see everything is already geared up, for prophecy to be fulfilled, man. So let's read this article and, get a couple precepts, and that'll be the lesson. So this is from End Time Headlines, and it reads, Where C-hip implants are heading should terrify us all. Recent advancements in neural and bio-integrated C-hip implants have sparked widespread discussion about their potential to transform human capabilities, right? So this is that transhumanism, that these devils are trying to do, basically trying to play God, man. Trying to, what's the word I'm thinking of? Circumvent, or to go around Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Trying to, basically be the creator of everything, as if they're the Most High, man, as it talks about in Isaiah, the 14th chapter. So it says, widespread discussion about their potential to transform human capabilities, with applications ranging from medical breakthroughs to cybernetic enhancements, reminiscent of science fiction. A report titled From Brain Bluetooth to Full Robocop, where C-hip implants will be headed soon, published by The Conversation, explores the trajectory of this technology, highlighting both its promise and its ethical complexities. Drawing on insights from the multiple news sources, this article examines the current state of C-hip implants and their projected future, weaving together perspectives on innovation, societal impact, and the challenges ahead, right? Because as the scriptures say, it causeth all. So it's going to indeed be a very critical piece of their NWO, man, you know, is to get everybody to have that digital all, you know, that you know, basically pledging allegiance to the devil, man, you know. And as the scriptures say, man, our Lord is a jealous power, man. So if you bow down, you know, to the beast in his system, you know, to the beast system, you know, to the devil and his beast system, you know, the Lord's going to destroy you for that. And it talks about that in Revelation, the 14th chapter, around the 9th verse. So it says, the conversations report outlines the C-hip implants are evolving beyond simple medical devices such as cochlear implants or pacemakers and sophisticated systems capable of interfacing directly with the brain or enhancing physical abilities. Neural implants, often dubbed brain Bluetooth, are being developed to treat neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease or epilepsy, or by modulating brain activity. Let me get that scripture real quick. Hold on. Here we go. Revelation 13 and 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, which is NATO in the EU, right? Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, you know. So this is what it's all about, man. They're performing miracles, you know, and enticing the people to, you know, to basically follow after the ways, the image of the beast, man, you know. The go along and agree, be in agreement, you know, through the means of their deception and convenience, man. That's what these devils are doing, man, you know. So let's continue on. So they're, you know, this is seemingly a miracle, you know, to you know, treat a neurological disorder like Parkinson's, you know, or somebody having seizures, excuse me. You know, that's a miracle, you know. But that's the deception that this devil is coming with, man, because the word devil means deceiver, man. It says companies like Neuralink are pushing boundaries further, aiming to create brain-computer interfaces that could enable direct communication between the human brain and external devices. So if you, and I seen a video one of the brothers did, that it was, the communication can go both ways. You know, the human can communicate with the external device, like somebody that's a paraplegic can send signals to a robotic arm or something that's attached to him and make it move and everything. But there's been brothers been bringing out information that there's ways to have external machines send messages to the human, to the brain, you know. So if you have things like that, who's to say that they're not going to use that to, you know, make people, you know, control them to do these demonic, you know, acts, you know. That's the type of world that we're coming into, man. So it says a recent Reuters article noted Neuralink's progress is testing implants that allow paralyzed individuals to control digital interfaces using only their thoughts, with clinical trials showing early success in restoring limited motor functions. Beyond medical applications, C-hip implants are venturing into the realm of human augmentation. They make super soldiers and things of that nature. The conversation report references the possibility of full RoboCop style enhancements where implants could enhance strength, cognition, and sensory perception. So now this is, you know, there's so many scriptures that, you know, come to mind, but I'll just speak on this one, the first one that came to mind. This is why we're going to need Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to stand up for us, man. Isaiah 59 and 19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, right? So that's when that spiritual power is going to come in. The angels, have to step in to protect their elect, man. Protect the elect. And Lord's will, we're of that number, because we know that they're going to come for us. And this is part of their technology. They having these super soldiers out there, man. Then you can't forget about the robot dogs. You can't forget about their drones. You can't forget about their humanoid robots. It's Terminator style shit. So it's going to be, as the scriptures say, Daniel 12:1, and it reads, and at that time shall Michael, right, the archangel, stand up, the great prince withstandeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book, man. So it's going to be a time such as never been since there was a nation, man. This type of technology and this weaponry that this devil has, is greater than anything that ever existed, man. Why? Because the Lord set him up to have that great sword, man. This is Revelation 6:4, KJV, and it reads, and there went out another horse that was red, right? And that red represents Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And power, and horses represent power, right? And power was given to him that sat thereon, right? So when you think about, in Genesis, right, when Jacob and Esau were born, Esau was blessed, with the fatness of the earth, and he was told that he would live by the sword, and that's the blessing that these devils have been given, from our forefather Isaac. And it says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword, man. And that sword also goes into deception, man, and these left-handed miracles, that they're pushing forth to beguile the people, man. It says popular science echoed this sentiment, reporting on DARPA funded projects exploring bio-integrated CHIPs that could improve soldiers' endurance or decision making under stress. See, there's another part that I wanted to get. Salakia. Satan, back at it again. It says, let me just read a little bit more, and I'll get a couple of precepts, and that'll be the lesson. It says, public sentiment as reflected in posts on X shows a mix of excitement and apprehension. Some users envision a future where implants seamlessly integrate with daily life, comparing them to smartphones embedded in the body. And that's these simple ass people, man. The ones that are going to be tricked by the convenience of everything. They're the ones that are saying that smart cities are a good thing, and we shouldn't have cars, and we shouldn't have gas stoves. We should have electric stoves, and if we do have a car, it should be an electric car, right? These are those people not realizing that everything that these devils are doing is not to save the planet. It's to have control, man. It's all about control. If you have an electric car, then they can turn that shit off. If you have an electric stove, then they can turn that shit off. If you have this C-hip and you have to buy and sell through it, they can turn that shit off. If you don't, if your carbon credits, you went over your carbon credits, you tried to fly to too many countries, and you developed too many carbon credits, or you ate too many cheeseburgers, or whatever the hell these devils want to do. Your social credit score, All these different things are put in place to control people, man. That's what the devil wants, is to basically be a god on earth, man. He's trying to be as the Most High. He said, let me get that. Isaiah 14. And 14 and 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, right, the wicked, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yep. But it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, man, because the Lord's going to throw a monkey wrench in you devil's plans, man. You're only going to be able to go so far. You know, it says right when the scriptures say, right when they're about to fill their belly, they shall be cast down. It says they're not going to be able to perform their enterprise, man. You know, so you know, you devils, you ain't going to win, man. You know, you're not going to win. So that's, oh yeah, it says others express concern about privacy and autonomy, fearing that such technology could lead to surveillance or loss of control. And that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about, you know. The complete surveillance, the complete, you know, rule over the people, man. Just like as, you know, they said, Aaron Russo, you know. He said that he wanted to have everybody see it, man. You know, that's the goal, you know. And that's how they would have raw, like the Apostle Gabar would say, you know, when you have control over, you know, the earth, its resources, you know, you have all the, you know, you control the money, you control the food, you know, what's left but complete control of the people, man. So that's it, you know. I mean, if you have the people, you know, take that CHIP, that RFID CHIP, you know, that's basically them saying that you're their God, and these devils are putting it, you know, lining everything up, you know, so that the people will bend the knee, you know, will you know, bow down to this devil, because they think that there's no other way, man. The devil, you know, is controlling the water, is controlling the food, you know, the communication, everything. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, man. You know, so these devils has everything on smash, as well they think, but the Most High controls men, you know. Let's get that. Get it in Isaiah. Is it Isaiah 33? Let me see. Let's see, sorry. Isaiah 33 and I think it's 33. So let me see, I'll find it. 1 sec. Job 33. Job 33 and 15. I'll start at 14. For the Most High speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. Right? So the Lord is controlling these devils, man. These devils aren't doing anything that the Lord didn't allow, man, that the Lord didn't sanction, you know. So we don't have nothing to worry about, because we know that the Most High, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, you know, got everything on smash, man. And this is Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will, man. So these devils ain't doing nothing that the Lord isn't, you know, allowing them to do, man. You know, and this is to fulfill prophecy, man. So let me end off on this. It reads, Revelation 13, I'll go straight to the point, in 16. And he causeth all, the wicked, right? Causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, so you will not be able to participate in society, because this is going to be linked to people's financial records, man. You know, I believe, you know, just through the spirit, just the way everything's lining up with the job losses and, you know, the price of goods and things of that nature. And Elon, you know, him candidly speaking about it multiple times, this universal basic income, all that's tying into it, man. You know, the price of goods are so expensive, and people aren't making enough money, and people losing their jobs, and, you know, they're cutting all these different government programs. You know, people are gonna come begging for a solution, and in order to receive those benefits, that's when they're gonna roll out that, you know, CHI to the P, man, that MOTB, man. You know. And the Lord said the ones that take that damn thing, that mark of the beast, are going to have a grievous sword, man. And they're going to, you know, partake in that lake of fire, man, which is when them ICBM missiles start pelting Babylon the Great, you know, a.k.a. America. And that's where that lake of fire is, man. And they're going to, you know, hey, they're going to have their part in that lake of fire, man. And that talks about that in Revelation. I'll get it. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, man. So you will not be able to participate in society. You won't be able to buy, you won't be able to sell, you won't be able to eat, you know, buy any food, drink, clothes, shelter. But the Lord said that his servants shall eat. You know, his servants shall drink, and they shall thirst, right? His servants shall rejoice, and they shall mourn, you know. So trusting Yahawashi, man. We're no longer, let's get that. Stay on, because this is the test, man. You know, because the elect are trusting fully in Yahawashi. We're not gonna trust in no goddamn devil who's only been oppressing us and continuing to further our affliction, man. You know. We're not going to do that anymore, man. We're going to trust in the Holy One of Israel, man. This is Isaiah 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more stay. And that word stay goes into trust, to lean upon, right? Shall no more stay upon him that smote them, right? We are yet this day in our captivity, right? You know, these Edomites, so-called white people, have smote us ever since we came, you know, they came over to these shores, man. And they continue to do it now, and these other heathens as well. The ones that, you know, come over and lick our sores, man. The Moabites, the so-called Chinese, Ammonites, the so-called Japanese, Elamites, the so-called East Indians. You know, they lick our sores, man. They come right to the hood and set up every hood in Babylon. Got 1 million goddamn Chinese food restaurants, man, stores. And, you know, Elam got the corner stores, Ishmael, the Arabs got the damn gas stations and shit on Smash, all in the hood, man. You know, just continuing to take from Jake, man. You know, and they take it off to their neighborhoods and make their neighborhoods flourish, while leaving Jake's neighborhoods even more destitute, man. But Yahawashi got something special for their ass, man. All you heathens, and you 2/3, man, that love your enemies so much, man. But the elect of the nation of Israel will no longer stay upon them that smote us, man, but shall stay upon the Holy One. Stay upon the Lord Yahawashi, the Holy One of Israel in truth, man. You know. So let's end off on this. And this is the penalty for trusting in your enemy, man. And this is warning, you know, that we're commanded to give out, man. So this is Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, right? Without mercy, straight, no chaser, into the cup of his indignation, which means righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, man. So that's your, destiny if you choose to trust, in oppression, man. That's what's coming your way, So that's pretty much it, I just wanted to, do a quick hit, current news and what have you that's going on, and the wiles of the devil, man. What these devils are coming with. These devils are ready to come down with great wrath because they know that they have but a short time. So as the scriptures say, be circumspect, circum meaning around, spect like spectacle, to look, keep your head on the swivel, man, because we are indeed in some evil times, man. So I hope and pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who teach and well, talking the truth. Salutations, brothers and sisters that are out to listen and learn, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say Shalom, say Ababa Ball, and Kwame Yasharala. Hey, Shalom. To the next one.